Today we're going to be reviewing the PowerAxis HDMI to USB capture converter. So it's a tiny little box that you connect to your computer that will transfer anything that has an HDMI signal into a USB signal, and then we'll get it into your computer. I specifically bought this because I need a way of getting the games that I play on a PC, which is separate, or my PlayStation. I need a way of getting that into my computer so I can record it. So I bought this little box. Obviously it comes, the box comes in this. This is what the packaging looks like right there. In the box you get a USB cable. What's really interesting is that actually this USB cable has the same connector on both ends. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So this is, not to say a special cable, but it is one that you would want to keep around specifically for this box. And you get a user manual. Chinese on one side, English on the other. Instructions are pretty straightforward. You just plug it in. They recommend using OBS, which is a free software you can download to test it out. In fact, OBS is what I'm using right now to record this video. And they walk through the settings of how to configure everything. So that's pretty handy. I'm going to hook it up to a gaming PC, and then I'm going to stream in some games, and we're going to see if this thing works and see how well it performs. Okay, I've connected the video converter box to my iMac 2012 via the USB cable, and then HDMI cable over to a PC, which I have here just off screen. This is my current configuration. What I want to do is I want to add a new input source. So we're going to hit plus down here, new video capture device. And we're going to call this, we can call this anything we like, but I'm going to call it HDMI to USB video adapter. And then we have to choose which device is connected. I've got a bunch of stuff here, but what you're looking for is USB video. That's that simple. That's what it's called, USB video. And this is actually what is being shown on my PC right now. Okay, step one is complete, which is the video signals coming in. But what a lot of people don't realize is that you actually need to configure the audio source separately. So let's do that. We're going to just turn off the video for a second here to get back to the screen so you can see it. Click on plus. This time we're going to add an audio input capture. And we're going to call this our HDMI to USB audio capture. Hit OK. And again, we have to choose which device we want to capture the audio from. In this case, we want to capture from, there it is, USB digital audio. Select that, and we hit OK. All right, so we now have both our HDMI video USB adapter and our HDMI audio capture. Now let's switch over to this other screen. So as you can see, I've got my PC over here running, and this is exactly what you see on the screen. And as you can see, this is exactly what you're seeing on the video as well. And what I'm going to do is we're just going to use my controller on the PC to go to maybe my library, and let's find something. Let's do Life is Strange Before the Storm. So we'll go here, and we'll hit play. I'm going to fast forward until the game actually starts. We now have the game up and running. You can see it actually over here on my PC, as well as what you're getting in on the computer. And it looks really good. The quality is, it's imperceptible. If there's a loss, I cannot see it. Let's go ahead and get into something here and just kind of see what it sounds like. So I'm just looking at the picture quality here and comparing it, what I'm seeing on this monitor compared to what I'm seeing on that monitor. And I'm actually not seeing any visual difference. There's no degradation of quality. There's no degradation of color or anything. This looks pretty much the same to me. Of course, the color that you're getting through this camera may not be accurate, but from what I'm telling here, between the two with my eyes, they look pretty accurate. That might be a little loud. Sorry, let me turn that down just to be safe. There's actually a bit of a delay between the actual signal and what's showing up inside the computer. It's kind of hard to see, but let me see if I can
don't apologize to me.
explain what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing
very accommodating, and to your
Bud
other fellow
up.
actors, and most of all, to yourself.
Mr. Keaton.
Bud up.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's
but
about
does
that
this
much of a
look better?
delay.
I had my
I'm
mom
going
take it
to
out.
sync this up in post, and we're going to see exactly
looks
how much this is off by. I'm going to actually
This
calculate
is
that for
getting
you.
as
Okay, I've set up a little experiment because I'm not entirely sure the difference between the actual computer and what I'm receiving over here. There is a time delay. I'm not sure exactly what it is. So I'm recording independently on my phone over here, which is seeing a time code generator on the PC. And I'm also capturing over here on the PC, which is capturing the actual time code. So in a simple world, I'm going to do a little clap sync. We're going to sync it up in post, and we're going to figure out exactly how much we're off. Here we go. I got my two cameras synced up, and I'm going to find the moment when my hands and both cameras come together. Okay, so I know that the camera that I recorded, each camera is basically exactly in sync right now. And if I do that, and I take this frame and I zoom into it, full screen, we can see that in the background, we're somewhere between 5106 and 08, and here we're 5112. So that's between it looks like about 6 frames difference. Let's find somewhere else. So here's another one from 26 to 32. Yep, that's also about 6 frames off. 30 between 30 and 32 to 36 is between 4 to 6 frames difference. Let's bring up our calculator real quick. And if for every second we have 60 frames, each frame is 0.016 seconds, and we are going to multiply that by 6. That means the difference between what's actually coming out of the computer and what is going in through the USB card and getting into your computer, it's about 0.1 seconds difference. It is really well made. It is some sort of metal, very solid, rugged. It doesn't feel like it's going to break. So that's a plus. Points there. The quality of the video capture was actually really good. I could not tell with my naked eyes the difference between what I was seeing on my PC compared to what I was capturing. So again, that's a plus. The device says it can receive up to a 4K image. I wasn't able to test that much, but I was able to test up to 2560 by 1440, and it was able to receive that image with no problem. And the video capturing that I did was at 1080p. So it was able to receive that signal with no problem. The output of this device is 1080p at 30 frames a second. It seemed to capture that with no problem. It technically says it supports 720p at 60 frames a second. I was not able to test that. And then you also have to consider the price point. At the time that I'm making this video, the price is $15.99 on Amazon. And that's like fantastic. Doing some research, looking for some other adapters, the prices I was seeing were at least $19.99, $24, $30, all the way up to $150. Obviously, various features and whatnot, but this was definitely the most budget of all the ones that I was looking at. And it performed exactly the way I would hope and exactly what I needed. So for me, it was perfect. Another really good thumbs up for this device is its plug and play, at least on Mac. I did not test this on a PC. I'm running a Mac OS Catalina version 10.15.7. Plugged it in, it recognized it immediately. No drivers needed to be installed. So that was really nice. I was able to successfully capture both video and audio. With the caveat that you do have to configure them individually in OBS and whatever capture software you're using. But then there's the final and big drawback to this, which is there is a significant delay between the time when the video is shown on the source and when it shows up in your capture. And I calculated that to be about 1/10 of a second. So depending on your application of this video device, it could be the deal breaker for you or not. It may not matter at all. If you were just using this simply to capture, then 1/10 of a second probably doesn't matter at all to you. But if you're a streamer and you are actually going to like ingest this footage from, let's say, a PlayStation that's halfway across your room, and you're actually using this feed that's coming into your computer to make your decisions and your timing choices, and you're playing a first-person shooter, that 1/10 of a second is literally the difference between life and death in a first-person shooter game. So that application may not work really well for you. All right, the bottom line, I would give this 4 out of 5 stars. The things that are weighing are the downside of the delay brings it down just a little bit. I would maybe have brought that down to a 3-star because the delay was significant, but the price point, I mean, you just can't beat that price point. So I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 stars. Very nice. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope that it helps you make a decision on purchasing your video capture card.